World fell apart for Remy, and really, she's not doing well with it. She's in the midst of a nasty, embarrassing heartbreak after years of being the untouchable rap queen. And who bears the blame? The man who held her down for years, Papoose, was the one. The man who used to be her pillar of support is now the one causing her to break. Here's where it gets crazy though. Papoose didn't simply go on. Oh no, he's showing off his new connection to the world while living his best life. What about Remy? She is pleading, not just upset. The lady who once declared she would never pursue a man is now begging for another opportunity. What about desperation? It's showing, I see. Let's face it, Remy feels extremely embarrassed by the whole thing. She was out here pretending like she had everything all figured out only a few months ago. It was she who treated Papoose like a disposable object and looked down on him. And now, the roles have been reversed. Hardy, because Papoose was leveling up while she was busy amusing someone else. He had no intention of waiting for her to return. No, he found another place to be faithful. And she wants him back now that the harm has been done. No, that isn't how it operates. People initially believed she would accept the loss amicably. Perhaps she would go into hiding, concentrate on her work, and disappear for a while. But no, in an attempt to obtain another chance with Papoose, she is out there calling, texting, and even attempting to approach members of his social circle. And if you believe that this is a quiet, innocuous attempt at reconciliation, rethink your thoughts. Remy never goes away, and times of desperation, well, they want drastic measures. She has been hitting up Papoose at all hours, sending lengthy, heartfelt messages, and essentially spilling her heart out, according to many people. And what if this had happened a few years ago? Papoose most likely would have given in. Now, though, he isn't even answering. Things get much more complicated now because Papoose's new girlfriend isn't interested in the drama. To let Remy know that there isn't any room for her in this new chapter, she is standing on her toes. And truthfully, that must hurt. Imagine being Remy, famous, successful, and well-respected, and yet being treated as though you were just another ex. It hurts to be rejected like that. The true question, though, is how things got so terrible. How did Remy get to be totally alone after having a man who would do anything for her? Let's go back in time. We must discuss the beginning of this in order to comprehend why Papoose is done with her. Do you recall the initial reports that Remy had cheated on Papoose? People didn't want to believe it at first. Papoose was the epitome of a devoted husband. He constantly spoke well of his wife, rode for her, and prioritized her. Why, therefore, would she ever treat him that way? But then the evidence began to come in. Individuals were connecting the dots. All of a sudden, it was more than just hearsay. Facts were involved. What about Papoose? He was devastated. He wasn't going to die a miserable death, though. He waited rather than making a great public fuss. Silently, he moved. And when was he prepared? He took action. As we move forward to the present, he is still arriving. He has a new girlfriend, a fresh outlook, and most significantly, a higher degree of respect for oneself. However, Remy, she's going downhill. You don't know Remy Ma if you believe she's going to give up. After all, what will she do next? Oh, it's going to make things much more bizarre. And just when you thought there was no more mess to be made, Remy elevates everything to a new level. A woman like Remy, you see, she doesn't give up easily. No, both literally and figuratively, she is a fighter. And now, as though her life depended on it, she is battling for Papoose. Rumor has it that she has been using every possible tactic, including sending lengthy, tearful voice messages, attempting to arrange random encounters, and even contacting Papoose's relatives to make her case. What's the worst? It isn't functioning. Due to Papoose, the man who would have sacrificed everything for her is no longer the same one. Not at all. Being the fallback option, he's done. When her other options fail, he is no longer the man she turns to. What is actually causing this to burn for Remy, do you know? Papoose's public happiness in her absence. She sees him grinning, doing well, and showing off his new relationship every time she opens her phone. Nothing hurts more than seeing the man you took for granted move on as if he never existed. Let's face it, the truth is that Remy isn't simply having a breakdown in private. No, she is also allowing this circumstance to impact her public image. According to insiders, she had a complete meltdown at a private function just last week when someone brought up Papoose's new girlfriend. According to witnesses, she snapped at everyone who even alluded to the situation, going from composed to enraged in a matter of seconds. And if you believe that to be bad, that pales in comparison to her subsequent actions. According to sources, Remy attempted to create some drama by disparaging his new relationship in a mysterious social media post in a last-ditch attempt to get Papoose's attention. Although she didn't mention names, let's face it, everyone knew exactly who she was referring to. But rather than receiving the response she desired, Papoose struck her silently. No answer, no recognition, nothing. And that, most likely, that hurt more than anything else. The problem is that Remy was accustomed to Papoose's constant availability. He was always there and prepared to make amends, regardless of what she did or how many times she embarrassed him. However, this time, it's not the same. You know what's crazy too? Papoose's new girlfriend isn't just observing this whole situation passively. She's making sure Remy understands her role. Oh no. She has reportedly been refusing to back down, demonstrating that Remy does not scare her. And that is exacerbating the situation. Since, let's face it, Remy is not accustomed to being disregarded. Being viewed as an outsider in Papoose's life is not something she is accustomed to. And now that she realizes she can't control the story anymore, she's going crazy. But believe me, this is only the start. For what reason do you believe Remy will silently accept this loss? Rethink your thoughts. She is going to do something so outrageous and desperate that it will make everyone speak. What follows? You won't believe it, I tell you. And right when you thought Remy had reached her lowest point, she goes on to show us all how incorrect we were. Because of this woman, she is unwilling to let go. Remy decided it was time for drastic steps after being totally ignored by Papoose, witnessing him show off his delight with his new girlfriend, and understanding that her typical strategies were no longer effective. What do I mean when I say desperate? Oh, desperate, I mean. Because according to reports, Remy is now attempting to undermine Papoose's new relationship and her approach to it. It's not even close to being messy. It seems like Remy has been contacting Papoose's acquaintances in an attempt to learn more about his new girlfriend. She has been contacting former connections, pressing mutual acquaintances, and essentially doing everything in her power to uncover something that could end their relationship. However, this is where things start to get crazy since, according to rumors, she was unable to locate any actual dirt. She made an effort to make some. Yes, you heard me correctly. According to insiders, Remy has been spreading untrue tales to give the impression that Papoose's new girlfriend isn't as devoted as she appears to be. Furthermore, you are aware of the fact that rumors are difficult to stop once they begin to circulate on social media. But you know what? This time, it didn't work out. Because his new girl, in addition to Papoose, didn't believe any of it, she was able to see through it. She refused to fall for the ruse and made it crystal clear that she would not be moving. And that, Remy spiraled even farther as a result. She's not only hurt now, she's embarrassed. Let's face it, what could be worse than pleading for a man to return and having him completely disregard you? What could be more frustrating than trying every trick in the book and finding that none of them work? And if you believe she would handle this well, yes, you are unfamiliar with Remy, because right now, she is changing the course of events. She is attempting to play the victim because she isn't getting the attention she wants from Papoose, and her attempts to destroy his new relationship aren't succeeding. Subliminal messages are being dropped by her, giving the impression that she was the one who was deceived. People forget who was really there for them, she writes in her cryptic posts, and loyalty isn't appreciated until it's gone. Sister, let's avoid doing this. Because you were the one who disregarded your marriage, weren't you? Didn't you go out with the expectation that Papoose would be waiting for you at all times? You want to weep about loyalty now? Make sense of it. This is when things take a far more drastic turn, though, as Papoose is leveling up while Remy is out here doing everything he can. He's thriving in his new relationship, not just content. We're discussing new music projects, brand alliances, commercial agreements, and anything else. What's the best part? All of this is being done without Remy. And that is the main thing that is making her go wild. Because she was presumably expecting Papoose would suffer without her all along, that he would come running back the moment things got tough, that he would realize he needed her. But rather, he's doing well. When you become the best version of yourself sans your toxic ex, that's the one thing they can't stand. Consequently, Remy must now observe as the man she previously took for granted grows up, goes on, and starts a new life with someone who genuinely cherishes him. And what do you know? That is precisely what she is entitled to. Because ultimately, who truly treated you well is more important in a romantic relationship than who was there the longest. What about Papoose? At last, he discovered someone who does. Despite Remy's ongoing downward spiral and her constant self-disgrace in an attempt to win him back, one thing is certain: Papoose has formally left the building. Folks, there you have it. Remy cheated on herself and is now suffering the consequences. She believed there would be no repercussions for her deceit, disdain, and humiliation of Papoose. She believed that no matter what, he would always be there, waiting in the wings, willing to forgive her. Now, though, it is she who is pleading. It's she who is losing sleep, spiraling, fretting, and regretting every decision that brought her to this point. What about Papoose? He's winning. When you take a nice person for granted, this is what occurs. Because in the end, they are aware of their value. They go without turning around. What are your thoughts then? Does Remy truly feel sad for losing the game she believed she was playing, or is she merely upset about it? Should Papoose give her another chance, in your opinion? Or has he at last found serenity after avoiding a bullet? Please share your opinions in the comments section. I would love to hear them all. The tea is only going to get hotter from here, so if you're looking for more startling celebrity drama, be sure to hit the like button, subscribe, and enable notifications. Keep dirty, keep entertained, and I'll see you all at the next one. Until then,